Hey again, it's Brandon Jarrett here on Jarot Fridays answering Jeff Rollins' question for the Music Technology course 243. You know what it is, the number. And Jeff's question was in three parts this week, which was pretty cool. The first part and the first question was, what made you want to be a music educator, as in us? The second question is, what instrument would you play if I didn't play trombone? And the third one was, why I picked the University of Illinois at Champaign-Urbana. To answer Jeff's first question, there are three people in my life, as there were three questions that Jeff asked. What a coincidence. There are three major teachers in my life that really contributed and really motivated me to pick the music education path. Not really, maybe a couple. It's not just music education, it's mostly music and really no other major. The first one was my piano teacher, who I took for about 10 years, or maybe it was 9 years. She was my second piano teacher. My first one was Mr. Hegland, and he was okay, you know. He moved to Florida, so whatever. So Mrs. Mott taught me for about 9 years, and she taught me all about I need to know about theory and definitely oral skills. So I got some practice beforehand because I didn't take AP Music Theory in high school, and I definitely should have. But with theory and the oral skills and piano, that really helped contribute to my knowledge in that. And then the other educator was my old trombone teacher, Mr. Morgan, who teaches at JJC. I took trombone for him for 4 years, and he was a great influence, definitely in the music education aspect, because we had nice talks. I always was, questioning whether or not I would want to do music education or not, and he definitely solidified. He asked me a very, very important question during a lesson. He asked me, Brandon, if you'd pick another major at U of I, and then down the road you look back and you ask yourself, if you should have done music education or not, and you regretted it, then you should definitely do music education. And I was sold because, it was true. If there's something you really think you're good at, and you think you can really get to, talk to people, talk to kids, high schoolers, middle schoolers, elementary kids, and you can really bring out your great teaching sort of skills and personal kind of like doing what you would like to do. Because I love teaching anything. I love teaching about, movies or books or media or even, trombone, go figure. So he was a great influence. I love him to death. And I always visit him all the time. And we always have great chats. And then the other one was my assistant band director, who filled in for my other assistant band director. He left, Mr. D left after 2 years, and then Mr. Jamros is the one that I'm referring to. He came in for my last 2 years in high school. Great influence, great music educator, flute player from U of I, graduated, I believe, in 2008. He had to go to the Rose Bowl. That was lucky of him. And we always had great chats about, the different schools and whether or not, I wanted to go here, Illinois Wesleyan or Illinois State or U of I. And we definitely compared costs. I don't know why he thought I didn't know about costs, but, whatever. Because I already knew about the costs. It was just about the teachers, the professors, and the institutions and their reputation. Illinois Wesleyan being really expensive. And this will kind of go on with what I'll say about Illinois, choosing Illinois and all that stuff. But yeah, he was a great influence. Really got to know him well. Huge U of I fan. We always had good talks about Illinois sports and such, and just an overall great guy. Really influenced my jazz playing. Helped me get into district jazz last year, and I also love him to death. I love all of them to death. Without them, I really don't think I would be the musician as I could be. Mr. Jeff's next question. His next question was, if I were to play another instrument, what would it be? And considering that I can play guitar, okay, I can play fairly well. I wouldn't consider myself excellent, and then I can play piano. I took lessons for 10 years. This year not including, so 10 years before here. So I had to take all the lessons here for trombone. And I play trombone. I'd probably play baritone because I love the sound. Similar with the fingerings, they kind of correlate with the trombone, especially when you're reading bass clef. It's a conical instrument, and I just love the sound. Unfortunately, it can't be an orchestra, but in band stuff, it always has great solos like Lincolnshire Posy or October by Eric Whitacre. Tom knows what I'm talking about with that. And yeah, that's definitely an instrument I would pick besides the other instruments I can play. Oh, cool. And to address Jeff's last question of why I chose Illinois. Why I chose Illinois goes back to what Mr. Jamros told me about the institution, its reputation. Obviously, he went there. He knows there are some good professors. Obviously, some professors left probably, but just taking that information and applying it definitely helped make my decision versus Illinois Wesleyan, which was way too expensive. And Illinois State was a great institution, great for teaching, but I think Illinois just kind of outranked them a little bit more on the spreadsheet and all that. And another reason why I chose Illinois is because I was a huge Illinois fan back in the day. My grandparents are huge Illinois fans. They used to live here and they moved to Florida, which was pretty sad because they always told me that someday I would be in the marching Illini and marching in the football games, and they would get to see me at every game. And unfortunately, now they only get to see me once a year, which is pretty sad. Wish they would never left. Yeah, it's really sad. But they try. They try to come up. They watch. If the basketball games are on, I happen to be playing. They always try and watch. But they've been a great support. Mr. Jam was a great support. All these characters are a great support in deciding to be a music educator and deciding Illinois. And definitely the instrument had nothing really to do with that. But that's perfectly fine. I like answering those questions. And I will pass this question, these 3 questions that Jeff asked, to Matt on Matt Mondays. And thank you for watching Jarot Fridays, and have a lovely evening.